going to talk about taxes today and COVID and all of those fun things that people are inquiring about around this time of year. And so we're going to shoot it back to Kenny, where he's going to start because of the financial matter that he always upholds. He's going to ask a few questions about taxes this season.
Okay, everyone always come and assume like the mortgage guys know everything about taxes, which is not the case. We'll try to consult like tax professional, like Tiz, who like come to help be asking some great questions. Melanie's gonna be asking a couple of questions also too. So, question one is like the whole COVID thing right now. Like, we know a lot of people call me like, I think I get a stimulus check. Like, what's my options here? Like, so like based on you being a tax professional, is when I get the stimulus check, like what are the options?
As far as stimulus checks, there's 3 series now. We have our first stimulus check that was issued at the beginning of last year, our second stimulus check that was issued earlier this year, and now our third stimulus check that some people have already received just in the last week. So if you haven't received any of these checks or the proper amounts for each check, you can file the return in your taxes this year.
Wow. So just to make sure I got this right, it's when I get a check, you see when they are filing the taxes for 2020, they can just add both stimulus check?
Yes.
Or just one?
You can add you can do 3. So if you haven't received your stimulus check by the time you file your taxes, your 2020 taxes this year, you can add your third one in. I have seen a trend where stimulus checks that are being claimed in the refunds, your refund is being delayed.
Wow. So let me ask you a question. People ask me this question all the time. Is it a great idea doing like electronic filing or just doing like the one in the mail? Because I run the news when you do the electronic filing, like the money goes right to your account. You being a tax professional, like what would you recommend for anyone out there? Like someone's trying to buy a house, like I need my down payment money, like what would you recommend they do as far as like electronic or just what's your advice on that?
I would recommend electronic filing. Anytime you paper file, you do take a chance in our U.S. Postal Service. It's easier for items to get lost in the mail. When you mail them, they go to a lockbox. You don't know how long that lockbox sits in the mailroom. You put a lot of faith in outsources. So you will want to, I think electronic filing is much faster. You can track it all along the way. You can track it through Where's My Refund. You can track your stimulus through Where's My Stimulus. So there's, you can track it all the way. It's gonna add probably 3 to 4 weeks on if you paper file.
Wow. So you being a tax professional, like what's like the time frame to see the money hit people?
Oh wow. This year I've seen it range anywhere from 7 days to over 30 days and counting.
Wow. That's good information to know. Well, and because of COVID, what are the different things that people can claim now on their taxes?
There are some COVID credits, there's some geared towards people who were on unemployment, people who were out of work. For your children, if they were out of school and you had to take off work to care for them, or another dependent, maybe a parent, maybe a brother or sister, or an adopted child, or any type of dependent. There's also credits for self-employed individuals that if you had to take missed time for self-employment. There are some new changes with the unemployment tax liability. Now they've increased the liability. You're only going to be responsible for taxes on your unemployment for over $10,000. So that's delaying us again in our tax refunds. But if you have already filed your 2020 taxes, keep an eye out for when the IRS makes that update so you can amend your taxes and get your additional credits.
Great. So Melanie and I, we work with tons of self-employed borrowers and stuff like that. So sometimes they have no idea when it comes to deduction, because a lot of people work from home during COVID. What type of deduction you think people might be able to add to the taxes this year? Because I know a lot of people were not working in the office environment this year. So what type of deduction you've been seeing out there?
So for self-employed individuals, you can count pretty much everything that you do, depending on the type of business that you have. So if your self-employment is selling houses, for example, you want to be able to use some of your house credit, your utilities, the miles you drive in your car. You you can do gas or miles. We tend to use your mileage. You get a higher credit. If you are a hairstylist, you want to save your all the products that you're purchasing, any type of equipment that you might purchase for your home, like chairs, hair dryers, any type of hair products you're selling your clients. If you are working as a mobile mechanic, you want to say, and you had to purchase a new car, you can write off your car in that sense. Any tools, there's pretty much anything that you use in the function of your business.
Okay.
You can.
So it's more like, let's just say, because I know for me and Melanie, like for us, before pre-COVID, I was working in the office. When I had to work from home, I had to buy like a printer, I had to buy like a new laptop, like a new couple monitors, the whole setup and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to tell me just to make sure I can come and add those into my taxes?
As a 1099, as a contractor employee, as a W-2 employee, you wouldn't be able to write any of that off unless you itemize your deductions. So as a single individual, you need to have at least $18,000 worth of write-offs.
Wow, okay. I never knew that either. So it seems like I learned something coming new here today. Yeah.
So you would want to charge that to your company. So you would provide your receipt to your accounting department and expense it.
Got it.
For reimbursement.
Yeah. So so just to make sure Melanie and I would do a lot of first-time buyers and stuff. So a lot of these questions do come up. Like, let's say someone bought a house this year. Can they have a tax write-off on that house? Like the next following year, what's like the time frame to start writing off like the taxes?
The interest?
What about a house this year?
Yeah, you were right. You would be able to add your interest in if you itemize. So if Donald Trump changed the tax laws, and within that law, he changed the insurance, the interest that you pay on homes. So if you itemize, you can claim your interest. If you don't itemize, you just don't get credit unless it's over $18,000.
Okay. So $18,000 is the magic number.
That's where you gotta go.
All right. Well, good to know. I appreciate you answering all of our questions.
Absolutely.
If anybody else has any other questions that you would want to ask Tate, please put it in the comments. Where can people get in contact with you?
You can reach me on my business email, which would be my first name dot last name, which is Kataiah dot Williams, WILLIAMS @gmail.com. I'm also available by telephone, 720-425-4827. One thing I did want to mention that I didn't get to go over is our new stimulus checks are coming out pretty quickly. If you've had a baby in 2020 and have not filed your taxes to claim your new baby, file your taxes and get your money, because they are giving you that extra $1,400. So
Wow.
get those taxes in and get your money for you and your new baby.
Nice. Any other extra tips you want to add that we didn't ask? But you mean like a tax professional? Our viewers, they love tips. So if you think like any extra tax tips, please come and throw that out there.
I would say be patient with your tax preparer. It's a busy season for us. People are wanting their money.
And say it's with Executive Bookkeeping.
Executive Bookkeeping and Tax, yes.
All right, here in Denver, Colorado. Well, I thank you so much again for coming on to our
Thank you for having
Realtors
me.
Couch and being my tax. She's my tax lady. She's my CPA.
Same thing here too. So she does all our taxes.
That's all right. Everyone have a good